What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So, while I was browsing around YouTube, I ran across a video clip. And it's a video clip of a man who goes by the name Nature Boy. You may have heard of him, you may have not have heard of him. But Nature Boy is basically a black man who sort of has like this group. Some people call it a cult, but like this sort of like pro-black group, if you will. And I think they're currently in Costa Rica. They may have been moving around to other places. I'm not sure, but at least at one point they were in Costa Rica. And it's sort of like kind of like a community of its own. And from what I heard, the women are able to go and come as they please. Like no one is holding them against their will, as far as you know, you know, as far as we know, as far as public information is concerned. But the reason that I'm making this video is I ran across something that Nature Boy said that I thought was very interesting, and he was making a lot of comments directed towards lighter skinned black women, and it probably did include biracial, mixed women who identify as black and who may not identify as black, but who may be mixed with, part black, part non-black. And for the purposes of this video, I'll just refer to that entire group, the light-skinned black women, the biracial mixed women, as just light-skinned black women for the purpose of this video, so that I don't have to, say light-skinned mixed biracial women. It's a bit of a mouthful. But I'll make distinctions when necessary. All right. So I want to show you this video clip, and I had to edit this video clip because it was too much for YouTube, at least too much for mainstream YouTube. Although oddly enough, I did find it on YouTube. But basically he was just saying some things that were, a little bit lewd, a little offensive. But long story short, I edited this clip and I just want to show you what Nature Boy was talking about. And then after I show that clip, I'll come back and give you my thoughts and opinions about it. All right. So here we go.
Because that's what y'all like to do. Y'all go to the next best thing. I'm going to spit in your mouth. I'm going to you. Yeah, I'm that nasty. I'm going to make you do all that nasty shit. All that spit on. Shut up. Swallow it. Shut up. Yeah, I'm a gangster. I like to throw them Timbs on and fuck your brains out and throw you around the room a little bit. If you ain't that kind of woman, stay away from me. Because it might go down like that one day, and I don't want you to get it. Oh my God, you're crazy. Oh, he's crazy. I start drinking that Henny, that other shit come out. You feel me? Yeah. That's why I don't like women with weave, because I'll snatch that bitch off. I'll be weave up every time I see you. For real. I hate them light skin bitches. I treat them like, especially the one with the light eyes. I'll be like, what's up, babe? I treat you nice at first, baby. I treat you like the world. Just to get you in. And one day, when we most comfortable, you done got comfortable with me, I'm going to shock the shit out you. You're going to be like, ah! And you know the funny thing is, when you do it to them, they be turned on by it. The most surprising thing, when you do this shit, they be turned on. They be liking that. Or, and then they act like it didn't happen. They walk around like cleaning up and shit, and you be looking at her like, you nasty. You like, look at you, nasty. You like that? Out of here, y'all motherfuckers. Every time it's a dark skinned girl don't get away with it. She got to go through hoops and high waters and look like a white. She bleaching her skin, bleaching her hair, be trying to do everything that's fit in with y'all. Y'all come here. I'm light skinned. My are pink like a pig. You. That's why you don't never see me around Efru like that. You don't never see me fucking with her like that. You don't never see me fucking with her like that. You like, why you don't fuck with Efru? Efru be way the fuck over there somewhere because I don't like y'all light skin. Y'all got that white supremacy in you. You got that white in you. You think you got privilege. You ain't got no privilege. The black man and black woman is God. That's why I treat you the way I treat you. Make you kiss my foot. And I get my woman, I tell her, get on your knees and kiss my feet. Wash my feet. Treat me like a king that I am. And when you look at me, look up at me. That's right. Because at the end of the day, I just want you to worship the black man. Because we supposed to be where you came from us. You worship the black woman. I'm always going to put that dark-skinned woman up front. Always going to put the dark-skinned woman up front because you always treat her like yeah, you ain't got no melanin in your anyway. Me fuck with Velvet. My type is, I'm gonna tell you right now, it's annihilating. I like brown skin to dark skinned women. I'm gonna be honest, that's my type. Velvet got pregnant, I had an obligation and a responsibility to be with her and and that happened that way. It just happened to happen that way. But I never, ever. You don't never look at my baby mothers, you'll never see a light skin ever. What you talking about? And I still treat them like that. I'm being honest with you, light skin. I don't like you. Be real with you. You think you're privileged. You think you got privilege. You ain't got no privilege. I do not fuck with y'all like that. I make sure I be super gangster and treat y'all like what. And for you to even get on my nice side, I'm cool. I'm okay. All right. I treat you good. But I take less off of light skin. I'm more lenient with my brown skin, dark skin. But the light skin, I treat you like you don't like that. You probably get mad at me, call the police and lock him up. We don't like him. I don't give a f. That's why I made you lick my toes. I made you eat my. I made you swallow my. Lick the back of my. I made you wipe my. I made you do everything because I want you to know before you leave, you praise the black man and in the ground that he walked on. Now kiss my toe. Put my big toe in your mouth. Say yes, daddy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. Is this too real? Is it too real? Is it too real? $250. Yeah, throw up in your mouth. I want you to throw up. I'm gonna make you swallow it after you throw it up. Throw up in your mouth. Swallow that. What you supposed to say? Yes, daddy. You feel me? Because that's how y'all need to get treated. Because y'all don't appreciate nothing.
All right, y'all. So you saw the clip. So what do you guys think about it? I'll say that Nature Boy, he was very candid, and I appreciate his candor, you know. But something tells me that he may be coming from a place of like he was maybe done wrong by a light-skinned woman, or light-skinned women are a few. I hate to say that, but that could be some of the motivation behind what he is saying. Like, pretty much coming from a place of perhaps hurt. Not to say that, oh, he's a victim, or, oh, we should, be empathetic towards him, because I'm not trying to set it up to be that. But I'm just saying he may be coming from a place of something, right? Some sort of an emotional place, right? You know. And I also noticed that he says that he treats them nice at first. So it seems like, he's trying to allure them in like a predator, right? Kind of like has a bit of a predatory vibe with that. And honestly, I feel like when it comes to um, a segment of black men, I'll say, I think that oftentimes they do like to deal, like the segment of black men who may be color struck or have preferences that are outside of their phenotype. Um, um, I think that oftentimes they may have those preferences because they feel like those women are easier to deal with and easier to pretty much like run game on, basically. Like when it comes to them having preferences for like the lighter skinned black women, the light skinned mixed biracial women, the non-black women. I think that part of that preference, may come from them thinking that it's going to be easier to run game on them. you know and in some cases it is, and in some cases it's not. But I think in some cases they feel like, oh, the darker skinned black women, oh, it may be more difficult to run game on them, so they may avoid them. But he also said that he flips the script on the lighter skinned black women at one point or another, which does happen. I'm pretty sure that Sin Santana, Cardi B, Erica Mena, Nicki Minaj, even y'all divine light skinned deity Beyonce, I'm pretty sure that they've had the script flipped on them. Especially like, Cardi B and Erica Mena and Sin Santana. But so I think there's some truth in that as well. At one point or another, the preference is like, at first they're treated like the preference, right? But then the preferences at one point or another start to get treated like the non-preferences, if you will. But, according to Nature Boy, he said that they like that. It turns them on. So, is that true? Light skinned black women out there? Non black women, biracial, mixed women? There's probably could be some truth in that. But if he has such a disdain for light skinned black women, mixed biracial women, if he has such a disdain for lighter skinned black women, why are they there within his community to begin with? If he doesn't like them that much, you know, he mentioned a woman named Ethel, I think, and then a woman named Velvet. And if he doesn't like their, supposedly pink lady parts so much, why are you procreating with these women and having children with them? That doesn't make any sense, which sort of is like a reflection of like some of these dudes wanting to be kind of like the slave master. All right, want to be like the slave master. And that's the type of behavior that white slave owners engaged in. So, except for they engaged in it with people who were not considered their own people, but maybe Nature Boy doesn't consider these women to be his own people. And he also goes on to say that, oh, they have that white supremacist in them and they think they're better, that they have privilege. And I'm thinking, but so do you, though. You do think that they're better and that they have privilege and that they have proximity to whiteness, or at the very least non-blackness. That's part of what probably attracted you to them in the first place. He also mentioned that he, especially like doesn't like the one with lighter eyes. I'm like, oh, that's something. But low key, I think that Nature Boy, he low key adheres to white supremacy as well. Let's be real. And I think a lot of these pro-black dudes adhere to white supremacy. One way or another. It's low key. It's not very upfront and overt. But they do. A lot of them just for the simple fact that when you start looking at the women that they are linked with, that they perhaps married, had children with, who they're with romantically, many times they do tend to be on the lighter side and to lean more towards the lighter side versus the darker side. And I know some folks gonna be all like, we all black. You can have a preference. Sure can. Leave that black man alone. Black canes can do anything. That's all well and good and great. Wonderful. All right. At the end of the day, I'm not trying to de-police anybody, but I'm just making observations. All right. And the observation that I'm making, the observation that I'm seeing to make is that I think that these dudes kind of adhere to white supremacy when it comes to the women that they are linked with romantically and perhaps sexually too, or just sexually, And it is very suspicious when, pro-black men's pro-blackness skips over black women. That's very suspicious, like especially when it's consistently, like your pro-blackness consistently skips over black women, like phenotypically darker skinned black women. That's suspicious. And I'm pretty sure someone gonna come for me and be all like, hey, leave them alone. They can have their preference. Keep out of their business. Stop trying to police folks. Huh? You ain't gotta do that. We all black. Now it's we all black. Everything, everything black now. Oh, the black man carries the seed. Black genes are dominant. This, that, and the third. Like anything to be able to justify them having their preference and them being able to sidestep, like having to explain why they have a preference, the preference that they have, and also being able to present this argument so that they aren't seen as a sellout, right? That they are, a sellout or self-hating or color-struck or, has some sort of a issue that traces back to some form of anti-blackness, right? Even though we all can see it, right? And Nature Boy also says in this video that, the black man and the black woman are God. And, I personally don't subscribe to that theory. I don't think, none of these human beings on earth are God. We perhaps come from God and have God within us, and, things like that, but not God, himself, if you will. But let's just entertain this for a moment, though. The black man and black woman are God, right? He talked about being worshipped, but I noticed that the things that he were talking about being worshipped, it was very degrading. Like if you truly were a god, like who would subscribe to a god who makes them just participate in such degrading behavior? It's like if you have a choice of the many religions that are out there, why would you choose one that makes you degrade yourself? Again, I'm pretty sure that Nature Boy don't really have any type of religious doctrine, and whatnot. But I'm just saying, just entertaining that for a moment, right? Because I noticed when he was saying, "Oh, you need to worship me," the things that he was talking about in forms of worship, they were very degrading, sexually degrading too. It's like, you gotta lick this, you gotta suck that, you gotta twerk that, you gotta bend that thing over. Like really a lot more raunchy than that. Wipe, like seriously though. He also mentioned in this video that he's always going to put the darker skinned, black women up front. And some people feel like that's just talk because it's not reflected in what they see, in terms of his social media presence. And I'm not really familiar with Nature Boy like that. I've heard of him, but I don't really follow him. Um, but, I will say that it's a good thing if he is sincere that he wants to put, and that he's going to always put the darker skinned black women up front. But sometimes I do think that some of these pro-black dudes, sometimes, especially just black dudes in general, but also the pro-black dudes, I think sometimes they do engage in sort of like theater, like, and really just honestly just people across the board. It's not just like a black man thing. It's like people across the board, really. But since we're in this particular subject, topic, realm, whatever you want to call it, and we're talking about black men specifically more so, yeah, I do notice that some of these dudes like to engage in like this pro-black theater where, oh yeah, they'll come through talking about, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the Jews, chocolate queen, and those things aren't bad. Those are great, but I'm just saying, if they're not sincere though, just keep it. Just keep it. If it ain't sincere, if it ain't really what you about, then don't put that out there. And I think sometimes these dudes do that so that they can have a good look to them, right? But maybe Nature Boy, maybe he's sincere about this, right? Maybe, But what happens when he gets back on good terms with the lighter skinned black women? What's going to happen to the darker skinned black women? Is it going to be all like, we all black? Stop being jealous, dark skinned black woman. Why you always so jealous? Just see this why no one likes you, dark skinned bees right now. Then the next video he would post to be going in on dark skin or darker skinned bees instead of the lighter skinned bees. Right. And he also mentions that Sinai Lathan is his type. How would you classify Sinai Lathan's skin tone? I kind of consider her to be kind of like perhaps like a safe brown. A safe brown, kind of like a light on the lighter side, but kind of some brown in there too. We know she black, but she not too light, not too dark. Kind of like a safe space there, right? But considering the way that he was talking, you would think that he would be trying to say like, oh, my type is like a Lupita Nyong'o, black queen, black African queen, shawty. But I will say, if he ain't really about that, if it ain't true, don't say it. So thankfully, he didn't say that, right? Because the next thing you know, we're going to be looking and seeing the next woman he with, and it's like, hey, I thought you liked the Lupita Nyong'os, and you walking around here with like, the Cardi B's, the Erica Menas, the Sin Santanas, right? And he also mentions that he had some relationship with either Ethel or Velvet. One of them, basically saying that basically it just happened to happen that he had a child with her. He wasn't planning to or anything like that. It just happened, basically saying that, yeah, he had a child with a lighter skinned black woman. But that just happened, you know. It just happened like that. He don't mess with them. He don't fool with them like that, even though they're in his community, in his bed, carrying his seed, birthing their child together. But he don't really fool with them like that, though. Now, I think Velvet done hop, skip, and got on out of there, though, from what I heard. And I think that's why he may be kind of mad, because she just hop, skipped, and got on, you know. But she got his child, though. She has a child by him, though. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so, Nature Boy, he did defend darker skinned black women in there, and saying that, basically they do have to deal with a lot of BS. And that's true. And that uh, these FNs give them a lot of BS, which is true. But I feel like he might be one of them, though. I could be wrong. The darker skinned women out there, I ain't trying to take away your Prince Charming here. I'm really not, but I'm just saying I don't think everything's 100% right, with that dude over there. I'm just saying. But do you personally though, do you think that he's being sincere, or do you think he's putting on a show, a front? Yeah. He also mentions that lighter skinned black women don't appreciate anything. That they think they're better. So I guess maybe he was doing things for lighter skinned black women and they weren't like jumping up and down for joy. Maybe because they may be used to those things being done for them, so it's not a big deal. And it's just another day. Or maybe they just aren't appreciative at all. It could be that too. But I feel like that could be on an individual basis. But also, I think this is a bit off topic. But Nature Boy, there was like some story about this white woman from Canada going down to like Costa Rica and joining Nature Boy's community, and that made stories like within like the media, and her parents were, I think, trying to get her, and she was like, she's not being held here against her will. She won't be here and stuff like that. But long story short, I just say all that to say that why are you welcoming this non-black woman, especially this white woman, into your community? Really, for all you know, she could be an agent. To keep it real, that could be the one who gets you caught up. But then again, if you're doing some foul mess, go ahead, Rebecca. Go ahead, get him. All right. Because I'm pretty sure the foul mess that you're doing, I'm pretty sure the biggest victims of it is going to be black women. So, you know what, Rebecca, you go ahead and do you, Rebecca. Go ahead, go in there, smile and cheese in his face. Do whatever you got to do to get the dirt. All right. But long story short, I think Nature Boy has some issues. Some issues. I'm not quite sure his background. I did hear that at one point he was engaging in sex work, same sex work. And I believe from what I also heard that there is a video floating around somewhere on the internet of him, getting bent over by White Zaddy. That's how you. That's why he knows all them faces so well. That's why he know all that stuff about the choking and the slapping and the licking that and sucking this and swallowing that and throwing up. Because Wise Daddy was probably making them do all that stuff. You know. But he said he a thug, he a gangster. He one of them. Real. You know. But that's all I gotta say for the moment, though. I think that this is a very interesting topic to explore. Part of the reason is you really don't see like black men, especially like darker skinned black men, really being this, open about their dislike for lighter skinned black women. So I do think for that, aspect, it's very interesting. I'm not sure if Nature Boy is 100% sincere about this. I hate to say that. I don't think he's 100% sincere about that. Oddly enough, if he were saying disparaging things about darker skinned black women, unfortunately, I would think that he would be sincere about that. But I guess that's perhaps just something that I have to check in terms of my thinking, or either maybe I just know well enough behavior when it comes to color struck individuals. I don't know. But nevertheless, I just wanted to give you this information, present this all to you and let you get a gander of it and tell you my thoughts and opinions about it. And also get your thoughts and opinions about it as well. So let me know what you think. Into the next video, adios and goodbye for now.